Maureen O'Hara. The very name conjures images of the magnificent Queen of Technicolor, with her fiery red hair and mesmerizing deep blue eyes. On screen, she was the epitome of stately beauty and a fiery, strong spirit in classics like The Quiet Man. The public admired a great Hollywood star seemingly knowing everything about her. Yet, do we truly understand the real person behind that glamour? The stage lights seem to obscure the everyday Maureen O'Hara and the silent battles she faced. Not the gunfights from her movies, but thorny personal struggles rarely revealed. This video will not only celebrate Maureen O'Hara, the on-screen icon, but also delve into the challenges, difficulties, and internal struggles she experienced. Now we will collectively pull back the curtain, allowing light to illuminate the authentic and emotional facets of a legend we thought we knew so well. The battle against Hollywood's stereotypes and control. Maureen O'Hara entered Hollywood not only with innate talent, but also with a rare, dazzling beauty, fiery red, natural hair, captivating emerald green eyes, and a powerful aura emanating from every gesture. But it was precisely these qualities that defined her brand, that became the first hurdle in her battle against the film industry's prevailing stereotypes. Hollywood quickly defined and pigeonholed her into a specific image, a label she had to constantly fight to break free from. From the very beginning, Maureen was given the nickname Queen of Technicolor, a title both honorable and limiting. Producers and directors saw in her a perfect beauty for vibrant color films, but overlooked her inner depth and versatile acting ability. She was consistently cast in somewhat one-dimensional roles, strong, impulsive, sometimes headstrong women, but lacking complexity and psychological development. For instance, after the resounding success of The Quiet Man, she was almost typecast as fiery Irish women, despite her desire to try various genres and characters. She once lamented being seen more as a movie star to look at than a true actress. Not only was she typecast, but Maureen also faced the pressure of total control from major studios. During the golden age of the studio system, actors were bound by harsh long-term contracts, practically turning them into studio assets. For Maureen, this meant that every aspect of her career and even her personal life was closely monitored. She had no freedom to choose scripts, directors, or co-stars. The studio would decide which films she would make with whom and how her public image would be constructed. Maureen, with her independent nature and strong will, did not easily accept such arrangements. She repeatedly fought to regain control of her career, even if it meant directly confronting Hollywood's powerful moguls. She steadfastly refused roles that she felt did not align with her talent or ethics, even knowing it could lead to her being suspended and losing opportunities. However, the toughest battle Maureen faced was protecting her reputation and integrity against blatant rumors and slander. In the 1950s, as tabloid magazines proliferated, Maureen O'Hara became the victim of a shocking scandal. Confidential magazine, notorious for digging into celebrities' private lives, published a libelous story accusing her of indecent behavior in a Los Angeles movie theater. This was a severe blow to Maureen's honor, a woman who always valued decorum and integrity. Hollywood at the time often encouraged stars to remain silent to avoid negative attention, but Maureen O'Hara refused. She not only publicly denied the claims, but also took Confidential magazine to court in a historic defamation lawsuit. This lawsuit wasn't just about Maureen O'Hara. It became a symbol of stars' struggle against privacy invasion and fake news. Maureen spent a huge sum of money facing public pressure and mental exhaustion. She had to fly from Europe to America to provide evidence proving that at the time the article was published, she was on another continent, filming in Spain. Ultimately, the truth was exposed, and Confidential was forced to admit it had published false information. Maureen O'Hara's victory not only vindicated her, but also sent a strong message to Hollywood even as stars they had the right to protect their honor and privacy. Her resilience and courage in this lawsuit cemented Maureen's status not only as a talented actress, but also as a woman of principle who dared to stand up for herself and fight against injustice. That battle, though silent, significantly shaped Maureen O'Hara's character and legacy. Challenges in personal and family life. After the fierce battles on set and in court, Maureen O'Hara retreated from the limelight to face more silent, yet no less arduous challenges in her personal and family life. Hollywood could control her image and career, but it could not hide the cracks in her relationships and the private sorrows a woman had to bear. Maureen's journey to find true love was a series of trials and disappointments. Her first marriage to George H. Brown, though brief, was a costly lesson about youthful impetuosity and the pressures that come with fame. This was followed by a complex, tumultuous relationship with director Will Price, the father of her only daughter, Bronwyn. Despite having a child together, this marriage was marked by disagreements, work pressures, and perhaps even deep personal issues. Maureen was a woman with a warm heart, always yearning for complete love and stability, but destiny seemed to place many obstacles in her path. Marital breakdowns not only left emotional scars, but also created heavy psychological burdens for a public figure. However, the pinnacle of personal happiness Maureen found was with Charles F. Blair, Jr., a pilot war hero and businessman. Their love story was a beautiful one, showing that Maureen had finally found a man who truly understood and cherished her. Mr. Blair brought her the peace, love, and stability she had always sought. She stepped away from the Hollywood spotlight for a time to live a simple life with him in the U.S. Virgin Islands. This was proof that Maureen valued her private life and family happiness more than fame and career. But tragedy struck when Charles F. Blair, Jr. died suddenly in a plane crash in 1978. This was the biggest shock of Maureen's life, a heartbreaking loss that devastated her. The man she called the love of her life, who brought her peace and joy, was gone forever. This loss was not only the grief of a wife, but also the heavy burden of responsibility when Maureen had to take over her husband's airline business, becoming the first female president of a commercial airline in the U.S. Financial burdens, legal responsibilities, and personal sorrow intertwined, pushing her into a period of extreme challenge. Beyond the ups and downs in her romantic life, Maureen also bore family responsibilities and everyday worries that few knew about. As a strong and independent woman, she always wanted to handle everything herself. The pressure of raising her daughter Bronwyn, dealing with difficulties in her loved ones' private lives, and preserving her family's privacy from public curiosity were invisible burdens. She tried to protect her daughter from the downsides of Hollywood and give her as normal a life as possible. These challenges, though not as dramatic as the lawsuit with Confidential, quietly eroded Maureen's soul. They revealed a Maureen O'Hara who was not only a dazzling star on screen, but also a woman with a broken heart, a grieving wife, and a responsible mother. She had to overcome personal pains, irreplaceable losses, and continue to stand strong to manage her life and that of her loved ones. It was these painful experiences that forged a more resilient, deeper, and compassionate Maureen O'Hara, an aspect that the public rarely had the chance to witness. Inner strength and a silent legacy. After public battles with Hollywood and private sorrows, Maureen O'Hara emerged not just as a talented actress, but as a symbol of extraordinary inner strength. It was from challenges that seemed capable of crushing her that Maureen demonstrated incredible resilience and unshakable spirit. She never allowed circumstances to define her. Instead, she used difficulties to forge herself. Maureen's resilience and ability to overcome were evident not only in how she stood firm against scandals or marital failures, but also in how she continued her life with serenity and dignity. When her husband Charles F. Blair, Jr. died, suddenly, Maureen was not only grief-stricken, but also had to take over his business empire. She, a movie star accustomed to the spotlight, ventured into the complex world of aviation, becoming the first female president of a commercial airline in the U.S. That was not just a financial burden, but a huge responsibility demanding intelligence, decisiveness, and an iron will. She learned, managed, and maintained her husband's legacy, with every effort proving that her will was stronger than any role she played. Maureen O'Hara always lived with unwavering courage and integrity. In an industry full of compromise and calculation, she held firm to her principles. She was not afraid to refuse roles or demands she deemed unsuitable, even if it might affect her career. The Confidential magazine lawsuit was not just a personal battle, but proof that she would never yield to lies and slander. She dared to stand up, speak the truth, and demand justice for herself, even while facing immense public pressure and the entire Hollywood system. That was a valuable quality, helping her retain the respect of colleagues and audiences until the end of her life. Maureen O'Hara's true legacy lies not only in her timeless roles or flawless beauty on screen. Her legacy also resides in the story of a woman who lived a full life, bravely confronting every challenge life threw at her. She left behind an example of self-reliance, of the ability to recover from wounds, and of always living true to herself. Maureen O'Hara teaches us that true strength doesn't come from perfection or flawlessness, but from the ability to rise after every fall, from steadfastness in one's own worth, and from the courage to live an authentic life, whether in the spotlight or behind the scenes. Her story is an inspiration for those facing challenges, reminding us that even legends have their silent battles, and it is precisely these battles that made them truly great. A Legend Illuminated. From the dazzling lights of the Technicolor Queen to the shadows of legal battles and personal tragedy, Maureen O'Hara was more than just a movie star. She was the embodiment of a strong, resilient woman, one who overcame Hollywood's harsh stereotypes and the cruel challenges of her personal life, always maintaining remarkable inner strength and integrity. Her story isn't just about great roles, but also about the silent battles that forged an indomitable spirit. Maureen O'Hara teaches us that beauty and talent are only part of a legacy. What truly defines a legend is the ability to stand firm against storms, the steadfastness in one's own worth, and the courage to live an authentic life, regardless of external pressures. She left behind not just classic films, but also an example of resilience, of a spirit that never crumbled. So for those who followed Maureen O'Hara from the very beginning, who shared decades of cinema and life with her, have we ever asked ourselves, what is Maureen O'Hara's true legacy in our memories? Is it just her brilliant films? Or is it also a lesson in resilience about a woman who lived every moment to the fullest, whether in glory or in nameless struggles? Share your feelings with us in the comments section below this video. If you appreciate our approach to these topics, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to discover more stories. I believe every star has their own story, and so do you. Perhaps in the stories of your favorite actors, you'll see reflections of yourself and your own emotions. Thank you for everything. For everything. For